Hey there, welcome to 5 minute tutorials. Today we're going to be working with BSP volumes and some just simple texturing, but we're going to look at changing geometries using the geometry editing components in Unreal. So let's go straight into it. Go straight to your project browser. I want you to create a new project, and for this set of tutorials I think we're going to go third person with starter content. Okay, awesome. So yeah, basically all of these series of videos are going to be capped at 5 minutes long, and I'm going to try and make them very, very simple, very easy to understand, but we can cover some more advanced stuff just in very, very short bursts, so you take more in. Okay, and we're in. So we've got our, just quickly go over the third person example template, the layout for Unreal. I'm using 4.83, just so you know. There is 4.10, but just for ease of clarification, a few things will slightly change in 4.10, but minimal, not something to worry about. Okay, so the first thing we'll look at is the modes pane. You can drop anything in here, either drops into scene or affects things in scene in here. So you see, we'll just take away a few of these. Ignore the shadowing, just because I need to rebuild lighting. Okay, so as we can see, I can drop a cube in here. This is a standard cube, and it comes into scene. Okay, and this comes from the place tab. This I'm just going to get rid of. We're working with BSP volumes today. We're going to be looking at editing geometry for these BSP volumes. Essentially, this is the same thing. It's another cube, and I'm going to make this in the transform tab. I'm going to change the scale to 2 by 2 when numlock works. 2 by 2 by 2. There we go, and just drag it up slightly, and then I'm going to make a copy of this as well by holding down the Alt button and just dragging on one of these sliders. That creates another box. Okay, and I'm just going to make that 1.5 by 1.5 by 1.5. Okay, so that's actually intersecting with the other cube, so it's overlapping essentially. And just a note, I could actually set one of these to subtract as it was, and I could drop another box in here, and by placing it here and dragging it in, you can see it's cut away a section there. So you can see that all it's done is it's taken and subtracted that box that I've placed in scene. Now the way I've done it here is I've created a second box, and I'm just going to set it into there and just try and get it as close to there as possible. Okay. And now I'm going to go in the details panel on the right. You may have yours set up slightly differently, but essentially this is the same thing. Anywhere, wherever it is, it's called the details panel. Underneath transform, you've got the brush settings, and the brush type I'm going to change to subtractive. Now it's exactly the same as the thing here, and we can see that immediately it's cut away that intersection. So wherever it's overlapped, it's basically cut the box away. Much more efficient than you can imagine placing 5 sides or 5 flat cubes and having overlapping, maybe not getting the spacing quite right and having a gap, texturing not working correctly, which is the way when I first started messing around with Unreal, I was doing things, and it's very wrong to do that. But this way, every cube is always going to be 2 by 2 by 2, and I can just cut sections away. I could cut another little section as a doorway out, and I can walk in and out with my player and whatever else, and the texturing will sit in there nice and seamlessly. So that's the next quick thing we're going to do. Just bear in mind that this is going to be a 5 minute tutorial, so I'm going to keep this as quick as possible. So all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to show you quickly how so concrete grime, I'm going to drop that straight onto that pane there. Now you can see that it's just applied it to one pane. That's just the one pane, and then I can drop the same thing onto there, and I can drop the same thing onto there. Now quickly, hopefully I can show you, when my cat's not in my face, I can show you that the textures actually hold their scale, and they sit in together. So you can see that and that there sitting nicely, the same size, there's no stretch and skew, much more efficient. And again, if I was to cobblestone smooth and drop that on the inside, I just want to note now that actually this is not applied to the internal wall that's been created. It's actually on the inside box. So if you see here, I've got that there, and you can see that that texture is actually applied to the inside of this internal box. That's the subtractive box, not the external wall that's on the inside of the outer box, if you get my meaning. So again, I'm just going to drop that one there, and I'm going to drop this one into the back wall, and you can see again that the scaling is correct and the same, so that's the same size as that, and in fact it lines up nicely there as well. So shut up, cat. So that's pretty much that. The next, in one of the future tutorials, we're going to quickly look at resizing some textures from the standard assets pack so they fit nicely, so we can get more detail in and things like that. But okay, anyway, that has been 5-minute tutorials. I think we've gone just slightly over, but we can work with that. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next